Welcome back to the Instant Fame. Today, we're stepping into the world of one of television's most unforgettable characters, Jan Brady. Whether you grew up watching the Brady Bunch or stumbled upon her through memes and nostalgia, there's something about Jan that sticks with you. She wasn't just the middle sister. She was the voice of every kid who ever felt overshadowed, misunderstood, or desperate to be seen. And decades later, her legacy hasn't faded. If anything, it's grown stronger. So let's take a closer look at why Jan Brady remains such a compelling figure, how her struggles still resonate today, and why her most viral moments continue to capture our hearts. When the Brady Bunch first hit the airwaves in 1969, it was designed as a lighthearted family sitcom. But Jan Brady quickly became its emotional anchor. While Marcia was the picture-perfect older sister, and Cindy the adorable youngest, Jan was stuck in the middle, literally and figuratively. Her battles with jealousy, insecurity, and identity weren't just played for laughs. They felt real. Plumb's brilliant performance made Jan more than a caricature. She was a fully realized character who mirrored the anxieties of adolescence in a way few sitcom kids did at the time. What's fascinating is how Jan Brady's relevance has endured. A quick look at Google Trends shows that searches for her name spike during discussions about sibling rivalry, middle child syndrome, and even mental health awareness. It's proof that her struggles weren't just a product of 1970s television. They're timeless. The phrase "Jan Brady shows it all" has trended multiple times, with fans sharing clips of her most raw and relatable moments. Whether it's her iconic Marcia meltdown or her awkward attempts to reinvent herself, these scenes don't just entertain, they spark conversations about the universal need to be seen and valued. One of the reasons Jan Brady still resonates is because she was never just the punchline. Sure, her over-the-top reactions were hilarious, but there was always a layer of authenticity beneath the comedy. Her infamous jealousy of Marcia wasn't just about being petty. It was about feeling invisible in a family where everyone else seemed to have it all figured out. Her phases, like trying on ridiculous wigs or pretending to be someone she wasn't, weren't just silly plot devices. They were desperate attempts to carve out her own identity. And that's something anyone who's ever felt lost or overlooked can understand. The internet has played a huge role in keeping Jan Brady's legacy alive. Viral YouTube compilations of her best moments rack up millions of views, with comment sections full of people sharing their own Jan Brady moments. Times they felt overshadowed, insecure, or just plain awkward. Memes and reaction GIFs of her most dramatic scenes have become shorthand for expressing frustration, envy, or the general chaos of growing up. Even people who've never seen a full episode of the Brady Bunch know exactly what it means to pull a Jan Brady. But, beyond the humor, there's something deeper at play. Jan Brady's journey, from insecurity to self-acceptance, mirrors the emotional arc so many of us go through in life. Her later seasons showed her growing into herself, embracing her quirks, and even standing up for herself in ways that felt satisfying because they were earned. That's why modern audiences, especially those discovering the show through streaming, often cite her as the most relatable Brady. In a world obsessed with curated perfection, Jan's flaws, mistakes, and awkward phases feel refreshingly human. So what's the secret to Jan Brady's enduring appeal? It's simple. She was real. She wasn't the prettiest, the smartest, or the most talented. She was just trying to figure things out. And that's a story that never gets old. Whether you're revisiting her classic episodes or laughing at her memes, one thing's clear. Jan Brady's legacy isn't just about nostalgia. It's about recognizing the universal struggles of growing up and finding your place in the world. And that's why, all these years later, we're still talking about her. Because in a world full of Marcias, sometimes it's the Jans who stay with us the longest. Thanks for joining me on this trip down memory lane. Now it's your turn. Drop a comment below and tell me, what's your favorite Jan Brady moment? Let's keep the conversation going.